Baddies USA, episode 13, titled Big Me. This is episode 13, the unlucky episode for summer. It was also just recently Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day to y'all. So we're celebrating Valentine's Day by watching Big Lex whoop Summer's ass, please believe. So the episode literally starts off with Tasiki confronting Summer about why she's talking about eating Big Lex. She's asking Summer, like, why are you saying stuff like that? And I do find it pretty interesting that it's Tasiki confronting Summer, because you know what Summer said about Tasiki, literally calling her the R word and stuff. So yeah, Tasiki, she doesn't like that. She's like, stop saying that. Why do you keep saying stuff like that? Like, girl, no. And I'm surprised at like how even nice Tasiki is being towards Summer right now, honestly. So now literally a whole group is gathered around Summer, and Summer is literally spilling all the business. She's telling everybody like, I ate Big Lex and Big Lex ate me, and Tasiki wasn't effing with that, so she went straight to Big Lex and she told Big Lex what was going on. She was like, girl, Summer is over there talking about y'all ate each other, and she literally said, I don't believe it. But if you listen very closely, I think Tasiki says like she needs to stop saying stuff like that on live, because the thing is, a lot of y'all kept saying that Summer spilled it first when she went live, but there's a big debate about whether Summer's live was before the fight or after the fight. People are like, Dolly spilled the news. Dolly's not a good friend to Big Lex. First of all, in the last episode, Dolly literally said, Summer said.
Summer said she ate her pussy, so that's why she crying.
She didn't just spill the news out of nowhere. Dolly herself didn't know what was going on. She had to have heard it from somewhere. Furthermore, Big Lex literally did a YouTube video where she confirmed that Summer was the one that spilled it first. It was not Dolly. She said when the fight was being broken up between Summer and Dolly, Summer said it. She yelled it.
The way that this was edited did not happen like this in real life. As soon as Dolly and Summer were done fighting, as they were breaking it up, Summer said, and yeah, bitch, that's why da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Summer had said it first, and Dolly repeated what Summer said to Tasiki. They did not put the part in there when Summer actually said it. So y'all keep saying that Dolly exposed us? No, Dolly didn't know.
She was there and she said it, then I'm gonna believe her. I think the reason why people are confused is because when Tasiki actually confronts Summer, Summer acts confused. She's like, "Bit what? What? What did I didn't say?" Like, she's acting confused, but notice Summer is face drunk, okay? She's drunk out of her mind. She's not even remembering what she's saying.
That I ain't remember even saying, because I was so fucking mad and drunk.
And then number two, what also made it worse was that Dolly went live and she was like reacting to the show. At first, Dolly said like, no, I didn't. They said it before me.
And I ain't even the first person they said it.
And then when whoever the person was in her video was like kind of gaslighting her, and she was like, oh, I did say it first then, huh?
Oh, I aired it out. I did.
You been here, I don't even raving about that too. Oh, Dolly was the one that started.
I started it. Didn't know. Oh, I did say that. Oh, I hear you.
Like, you can literally see in the video, Dolly wasn't even sure herself she said it first, but she just ultimately believed it. But Big Lex cleared it up. She said, no, Dolly didn't say it first. Summer said it first. Boom. All right, let's put an end to that. But yeah, Big Lex is pretty surprised. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe that Summer is saying stuff like that. Like, I don't know if she looks kind of embarrassed or what. Summer is literally like, I love her. I would never put my hands on her. And in the next sentence, she's spilling all the tea. I love her. I would never put my hands on her. I ate her and she ate me. Just a big ass contradiction, girl. You can tell that Summer's drunk. You can tell that Summer's drunk. You can tell that Summer's drunk. She's slurring her words. She's not making sense. She's not remembering what she's saying. It's crazy. Also, I find it very funny that like Dolly is by herself. Like, nobody is going and checking on Dolly as if she wasn't the one that just fought Summer. It was kind of weird to me, even the last episode when everybody was consoling Big Lex and Dolly was by herself. I was like, Dolly's the one that should need the consoling. Why aren't y'all checking on Dolly? Like, girl, are you okay? Oh my God, you just fought your best friend. Like, literally Dolly's alone and everybody's around Big Lex as if Big Lex was the one that fought. That was weird to me. Anyways, now we have Big Gretch. She's talking about she wants to get one with Suki. Mariah Lynn is trying to calm Big Gretch down. She's like, girl, no, I don't think that y'all should fight. I don't think y'all should fight. And Big Gretch is like, not now. Not when my stitches are still in my neck. Okay. But like when they come out, it's up and it's stuck. Like, the way she's talking, I'm like, okay, she's shit-faced drunk. Like, everybody is wasted. Now you have Summer literally running to all of Dolly's ops, literally the girls that Dolly just fought. She ran to Baby. She's talking about, you know what just happened? I just beat Dolly's She said, where's Killer? Where's Killer? Killer. Dolly, duck your wrecking this beat. Like, Summer is out of control. Oh my gosh. Summer's in her confessionals talking about Dolly's a hating B, and it took for me to stop being her friend to realize that. And I'm like, girl, no, she's not. Literally, when y'all were friends, was she not helping you with your makeup, with your hair, helping you look better in general? Like, she was doing your hair back in Baddie's Midwest. What are you talking about? That's not a hating B. Hating B don't help you to look better. Like, whatever, girl. Taziki comes up to Summer. She's like, girl, stop antagonizing her. And Summer's like, but do you know what happened? She said that I snorted out of her hand. And Tasiki literally hit her with a, you said crazy stuff about me and we're here. Straight up. Because I was wondering when it was going to come out. I was like, it's so weird that Tasiki is just like sitting here listening to Summer talk about very sensitive things, you know, knowing that Summer literally threw her under the bus not that long ago. Summer literally told Tasiki, that's different because that was my friend. So, like, you're not my friend. That's why I said that about you. And Tasiki's like, that's even worse. Why would you say something like that about your friend? And Summer is like, because that was the truth. Like, it is weird considering the fact that Big Lex had nothing to do with her and Dolly's fight. Literally, I don't know why Summer would blurt that out, why she would talk about Big Lex. She fought Dolly. She didn't fight Big Lex. And it's not like Big Lex was even helping Dolly and like going against Summer at this point. She was still kind of just letting Dolly fight all her fights on her own. So it was weird that Summer just blurted that out about Big Lex because she had no drama with Summer that day, that evening, that night. Cold Killer sees Big Lex. She said Big Lex was looking so sad after the fight. Cold Killer's really like, I F with Big Lex for real, and I'm not gonna talk about this situation without her. And I was like, oh wow. When did they become so close? I know Big Lex, she said on Baddie's Africa reunion that she always did like Cold Killer. She don't have a problem with Cold Killer. But it was more so, you know, because their squads were fighting. Yeah, anyways, I guess now the big three is falling apart. They can start being friends with other people. So Big Lex comes over to her. She's like, I never said nothing about you. Like, what's going on? Like, I didn't do nothing. Why would you say that about me? And Summer is gonna hit her with, why would you believe them? Why would you believe that I said something? I was like, I know this is not lying right now. And everybody's there at the table, literally listening to this conversation. Summer is gonna talk about, I said that I beat your friend's ass. The whole table is like, girl, don't lie. No, Summer, don't lie. Stop. You didn't say that. You know what you said. And Tasiki exposed her right away. She said she told Summer that you might as well tell Big Lex the truth about what you said because she's going to see it anyways. And Summer said, it doesn't matter because we're going to fight later. Damn, right? As soon as Tasiki says that, you can see Summer trying to speak up like, wait, like she don't want Tasiki to say that. But I'm kind of living for this moment of Tasiki exposing Summer. So Big Lex is like, why would you say that when you know I don't want to fight you? And Summer's like, I don't want to fight you either, so leave me alone. What the girl, leave her alone. What are you talking about, Summer? You're so drunk. So Summer is like, why did you come and join this conversation then? And Big Lex is like, I came because people were telling me that you said something about me. And Cold Killer is the one that called her over there. And Summer said, well, what did I say? And Big Lex says, ask them. Like, ask the people that told me. And Summer said, no, you tell me. Big Lex is like, I don't know. You say it. Like, let's hear it straight from the horse's mouth. I'm just like, Big Lex, you know what she said. She clearly doesn't want to say it because she's scary right now. I don't understand why Big Lex didn't just say it. Maybe she wanted to give Summer a chance to say it first. Summer didn't want to. She was scary. She was definitely scary. And then, okay, boom. I feel like this is another proof that Summer said it first because Summer's in the confessionals and she said, oh my gosh, Lex, you heard me. You heard exactly what I said. So that leans to she blurted it out after the fight. Big Lex is talking about some, I have grace. And Summer said, thank you for your grace. Amen. She's just trolling at this point. Summer is just a big troll. Literally, she knows exactly what she said. She doesn't want to repeat it in front of Big Lex. Big Lex literally said, you know, I heard that you were talking shit. And on top of that, you know, when Tommy brought people, it wasn't cool. So how do you think it looks right now when you bring people? It's not cool either. And the only reason I'm not putting my hands on you is because I really don't want to fight you, you know, straight up. So Big Lex asked her again. She's like, so you said nothing about me, nothing at all. And Summer said, no. And she was like, okay, well, I just needed my clarity. And she walks away. What I did find weird though is that nobody at that table exposed Summer. Like, what the hell? Y'all's all sitting there acting like if the shoes weren't reversed, like if Summer was the one who knew the information and somebody else was lying, Summer would totally expose y'all. All y'all. It don't matter who it is. Like, I am so surprised that they just sat there quiet and didn't say anything. It's crazy. So the scene cuts and you see Dolly basically sneak her way over to the bar scene area where everybody is. She grabs a bottle, boom, she tries to throw it. I don't know who she was aiming at, but it kind of like flew next to Big Gretch. But yeah, it didn't hit anybody, thankfully. I'm just like, y'all, wrap it up, let's go. I know Dolly's still angry, but I just feel like, girl, stop. You already won. You beat her. What more are you doing, like, at this point? And on top of that, Scotty is over there. Like, hello, pregnant Scotty is totally standing over there. Like, this is a dangerous situation. You can't be throwing bottles when you have pregnant people around. And here's Scotty in the confessionals. Oh my God, we shouldn't be fighting outside. Like, this should have been done in a house meeting, not when we're outside. We're supposed to be having fun with the fans, but all we're doing is like out here fighting. And this is like just ghetto. Like, Scotty is so above and beyond it now, you know? So like, girl, if it's so ghetto for you and you're already pregnant, what are you doing? Just leave. And also notice how she says that too, because it's Dolly fighting. If it was somebody else fighting, she wouldn't be talking about ghetto. So the baddies are all walking outside. The scene outside is chaos, okay? There is way too many people. There's literally hundreds of people. They're yelling, screaming at the top of my lungs, oh my God, Summer, die, yeah, phones, pictures, lights, everything. On top of that, you got Summer's people still out there in the crowd trying to fucking find Big Lex and Dolly. Literally, the way they carried Dolly out, I was like, oh my God. They had about 20 security on Dolly, like, she was like this, like they carried her, they threw her ass in the car, shut that so fast. Like, oh my God, it's a mob scene. Chaos, chaos, chaos. And then Big Lex tries to get into the tour bus and all of a sudden you see a girl run up and you see her swinging at Big Lex. It didn't look like she touched her though, but apparently that was Summer's sister. And Summer's sister and niece tried to jump Big Lex. They didn't actually jump her though. But the attempt was made, okay? The intention was there. But for me, I'm like, why the fuck are you guys letting Summer's sister and niece get that close to the bus, knowing that, you know, they literally came here to fight? And that is when Big Lex feels like Summer crossed the line. Like, you sent your people to jump me. It's over now. It's over. And I get it. Even though, like I said, she wasn't jumped. The attempt was made. Okay. If it wasn't for all those people and security guards, they would have jumped her. They would have got her. So that's crazy because that means that Summer told her family, go get Big Lex and Dolly, both of them. So the scene cuts. It's the next morning. Finally, this crazy night ended. We have Rolly and Scotty on the balcony having a conversation. So they start talking about Dolly, how Dolly was going crazy. She fought everybody and literally her own friend Summer. And of course, in true Zeus fashion, in enters Summer. So Rolly asked her, like, why was Dolly on 10 with you yesterday? Like, what happened exactly? Because, you know, on the bus, Dolly was fighting with Tinka and then all of a sudden she like Timbaland kicked Summer in the head out of nowhere. It was out of nowhere because it's not like they were even arguing at that moment. But like I said in my last video, I think that was just an accumulation of everything that's been happening. And like Dolly was already angry. She just saw Summer standing next to her op and she just boom. Not saying that it was right, but I'm just saying. So Rolly doubles down once again and she's like, well, I do feel like some of this came because you literally been antagonizing them, girl. Summer's literally like, okay, so it all makes sense now. Dolly felt like I was antagonizing her, so you kicked me trying to get to Tinka, but you said it was for me. I'm like, girl, she wasn't trying to get to Tinka. She literally was trying to get to you. Summer's still convinced the kick wasn't for her, but Dolly just said, yeah, it was for you. Like, girl, no, it was for you. Intentionally for you. So because of that kick, Summer is like, yeah, of course we're gonna fight. But my whole thing is like, why didn't you fight her on the bus when it happened? She kicked you and she told you she kicked you. And she even said, you want me to do it again? Like, I'll do it to your face. And you did nothing on the bus the whole time. You waited until you got to Detroit with your people. You waited until you were shit-faced drunk. And you tried to jump her. Like, you literally did the weakest shit ever. You should have handled that on the bus when it happened. And isn't that not crazy? Like, that was your friend. What she did, like pulling her family and on Dolly was like, that's something you would do to your op. That's something that you would do to people that you don't F with, you don't like. Like, calling your family, your people to come jump one of your ex-friends is crazy to me. I don't know. So Rolly was like, you know that Big Lex was crying yesterday. Summer said, about what? So, like, her reaction kind of made me laugh. She's like, you know, because she said she didn't like seeing you and Dolly fight yesterday. And Summer said, then why didn't she break it up? I saw security break it up. I didn't see her break it up. And I was like, Summer has a point. That's true. That is true. Now, of course, they talk about allegedly what Summer said, and Summer doubles down and she's like, yeah, that might have happened like once or twice. Like, she's just acting so nonchalant about it as if it's like, it's whatever. You know, she's totally not regretting what she said at all. Rolly's gonna talk about some, y'all cannot be calling yourselves sisters and each other out. Summer said, I don't know, sister wives. What the fuck? Oh my gosh. But anyways, yeah, she has no remorse pretty much. Okay, boom, here we are. We got the confessional that we needed. Summer says she doesn't even remember saying it because she was so drunk. So boom, that's our last piece of proof that she did say it first. She just doesn't remember. That's why she was so surprised when Tasiki said, why did you say that? She was like, huh? What? Pussy? What? She's drunk. Boom. There we go. Moving right along. So now Rolly's just telling her, like, I'm gonna tell you the same thing that I told Tommy. Like, it's not cool to have people, outsiders, brought into this. We're supposed to keep shit in the house. And Summer is gonna try to fix her mouth to say, I didn't have nobody intentionally pull up. Like, girl, stop. Yes, you did. I told you this girl takes zero accountability. Zero. Oh my gosh. She's just deflect. Nope, it wasn't me. I'm innocent. Nope, I didn't do anything wrong. Now I didn't even call my family, my peoples to come. Stop. Just stop. And how'd they know exactly where y'all were at, what time y'all was gonna be there, and to target Dolly and Lex specifically? Just magic. So the scene cuts and we have Big Lex and Dolly, and they're walking in the streets of the dirty D. But it's actually clean streets. Yeah, they got them in a nice part of Detroit. So of course they're talking about the night before, how it was just too much. And Dolly is actually regretful in her confessional. She said that she wishes that they could have talked things out, that they were actually real friends. They confided in each other. Like, they told each other their dreams and ambitions and all that. Obviously, I knew they were real friends. Anybody who says they weren't friends, like when Killa said that, it's like, no, girl, yes, they were. They were real friends. Literally, they came in this show together. They were the most hated together. Like, they took being the most hated villains, they took it and like stuck together. You know what I'm saying? And you guys always try to say Big Lex and Dolly used Summer because Summer is like crazy and she's like the star and like they're nothing without her. But like, I feel like they had a mutual exchange friendship. Like, both sides got things from each other. I don't think this was just one-sided. But you could clearly see who cared more, which was Big Lex and Dolly, because they're the ones who keep saying how they're gonna miss Summer, how they regret that things happened, how they wish they could have talked things out, and Summer's pretty much like, I don't give a F. But anyways, Natalie Nunn pulls up in the streets of Detroit, downtown Detroit. So Big Lex is telling Natalie, like, Summer came yesterday with her people to try to, you know, get to Dolly and me. And, you know, they just start fighting. And Natalie Nunn is like, put things into perspective. We're in Detroit right now. This is where all three of y'all came to the auditions in Detroit. Literally full circle. We're right back where we started. And you guys broke up in Detroit. It's like, how the hell? Like, what happened? You guys stuck through together all this time, all these seasons, being the most hated. Like, they had a special bond of the most hated bitches on Baddies, okay? What the hell happened that you guys couldn't resolve? Natalie's just, you know, just confused. I like the way that Natalie's talking right now, and I do feel like she's being genuine. And Big Lex is like, exactly. That's why me and Dolly are confused, because they still don't know why Summer doesn't want to be their friend anymore. They literally keep saying she won't give us a reason why she doesn't want to be our friend anymore. And I was like, okay, I'll give you the reason. The reason why she doesn't want to be y'all's friends anymore is because of what happened with the Tasiki situation. She wanted y'all to have her back more. She wanted y'all to do more in the Tasiki situation. And when y'all were doing the opposite, when y'all were telling her, shut the F up, be quiet, stop, she got triggered, she got mad, she felt some type of way. I feel like that was like the crack. It just kept going down after that. But yeah, I think the reason why Summer refuses to say that is because she already told everybody, I don't want Lex and Dolly to fight Tasiki. I never wanted that. But in the reality, she wanted it. So that's my theory. We won't know until we hear it from the horse's mouth. Then, of course, Big Lex tells Natalie the rumor that Summer is spreading, which Natalie finds hilarious. She's like, oh, hell no. I see now. Y'all's a trio. Okay. Dolly's like, they a duo. I ain't doing none of that over here. Like, please believe. Natalie then says, you didn't jump in any of the fights, Lex, yesterday? Dolly's like, I didn't need her to, straight up. But here, I'm also going to call Dolly out a little bit because I do feel like Dolly felt some type of way that Big Lex didn't do anything, because she did say a couple of comments that were a little bit shady. Like, she said, I just went round for round, beating everybody's ass. And Big Lex was just standing there. And like, I didn't need her to do nothing. Like, what's the whole point of saying Big Lex is just standing there? You know what I'm saying? And then there was like another comment where she was like saying she's on her own now. She was like, it's just me. I'm on my own now. And I was like, girl, you still got Big Lex. Like, so I could tell by the end of the night, I could tell she was feeling some type of way. But this is how Big Lex has always been. Like, the only time Big Lex actually stepped and took a fade for Dolly was Baddies Africa. And that's because Dolly had that eye patch over her eye. She fought Tay Baby for Dolly. But pretty much she never really gets involved people's fights. And actually, I didn't even notice this, but one of y'all had told me that you can see her in the background even pushing Summer's people away, so helping Dolly not to get jumped. So she was doing stuff. But yeah, anyways, so the scene cuts and we are in the ATL, Atlanta, Georgia. So we see Tavy Baby, Rolly, Cold Killer, and Fauna, and they're walking in the streets of Atlanta. So of course, who are they talking about? Dolly. Dolly's on everybody's tongues. And of course, they're talking about how Dolly just went too crazy and she took it too far with Cold Killer's kids, which I agree with 100%. Cold Killer did whoop her with a belt to her face. Okay, so she did get her for saying that, but I still feel like she did take it too far. And I hope Dolly apologizes for that, or at least acknowledges that it was wrong to do that. But like everything else she did, I feel like, she had a right to do all that. So the scene cuts and we see Mariah, Biggie, and Tasiki. They're just talking about Dolly and Summer. Honestly, Tasiki and Mariah have had nothing to do for such a long time. Like, their scenes consist of just talking about Summer, pretty much. Summer and Dolly. Like, it's always just talking about somebody else. All right. Anyways, Tasiki briefly mentions how she's opening a new restaurant, and they give that like literally 5 seconds. She's opening a new restaurant and it's lit, and boom, the scene cuts. But that's pretty cool. I wonder if they'll show it on Baddies. I don't know. I feel like they don't like to highlight stuff like that. So it cuts back to Rolly and them, and we're kind of just recapping everything that just happened. They're just talking about the eating situation. The eating situation. They do spill a little bit more tea here, though. They say Summer said it happened more than once, and it was while Big Lex was still with her girlfriend. So basically, she cheated on her girlfriend. I was like, oh, that's tea that we didn't hear. I don't know when Summer said that, but yeah. Rolly's like, what's going on? Like, we're not supposed to be humping each other. This is a sisterhood. Her reaction was just like, how dare you guys hump each other? Like, oh my gosh, we're not supposed to do that. Like, what are you talking about? Y'all are baddies. You don't think that other people are hooking up with each other? Like, her reaction was just so funny to me. So the scene cuts. We have Jayla sitting in this really nice looking bar restaurant. In walks Scotty with a baby with on her shirt, literally, and she has Capri, and they're about to have a sit down with Natalie. But yeah, Scotty actually said that Taco Tuesday was fun. She was like, that was so fun last night, like when all that crazy shit happened, when Dolly went crazy on everybody. Like, it's like Scotty just proves that Scotty is just so messy. Like, she's enjoying all of this too much. Jayla brings up that Dolly speaking on Cold Killer's daughter was wrong. Like, what she said was completely wrong, which I agree. It was very distasteful. And Scotty's like, yes, I agree. You shouldn't be bringing up people's kids, period. Or dogs. Like, Natalie, hello. Always talking about my dog. Always having a problem with Capri. And Scotty's like, you're talking about my dog? That's my child. That's my baby. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I get it. I get it, because I have 2 cats and I feel like they're my babies too. So I can't even hate right now. So Scotty's like, I don't really appreciate how Natalie went on a rant when we were in Italy, and she just brings me up randomly. She said that I'm bothering her. How am I bothering her from Italy? Like, she doesn't understand. And Jayla asked her, like, do you think you can have a conversation with Natalie? And Scotty straight up said, we're not friends anymore, so it would just be more like an understanding. I'm like, okay. I want to see this type of energy when Natalie walks into the room, because she talks like this, but then she always ends up bawling, crying. So we'll see. But yeah, Scotty's like, I don't talk about you on the internet. I don't shade you. I don't do none of that. So I don't understand why me and my dog got thrown into a rant that has nothing to do with us. Which, to be fair, I do understand that. Because, like, what the fuck? Just catching strays, just over here trying to chill in Italy. Jayla says she just wants Natalie to kind of own up to some of the things that she says. I did find it a little bit interesting here, because Jayla was basically like, Natalie, don't try me the same way she tries you and other people. So, like, I feel like me and Natalie, we're not as far gone as you and Natalie. Talking to Scotty, right? It's just like weird flex right there, but okay. So apparently Natalie said that Scotty and Jayla were talking about her, and apparently she said that Scotty, and there's a lot of he said, she said, okay, and apparently that she said that Scotty said that she was preying on her downfall, but Scotty says she never said that. The only thing Scotty said is, I know that Natalie's telling people about the pregnancy, which, to be honest, I remember I first heard about her pregnancy from Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee was the one that exposed it first for me on IG. She said, like, we have a big Zeus baby. Tommy, like, posted, like, alluded to that. That's how I found out. It wasn't through Natalie, but just saying. So in walk Natalie and Janelle. So they sit down. It's pretty awkward because they were just talking. Oh, hi. What are you guys doing? Just ordered a mocktail. Oh, mocktail. Like, awkward small talk. I fucking hate small talk. Just get to the point. Natalie's like, so how was Italy? And Scotty said, it was great up until the point where you did a rant on Instagram, you know? You remember that? You see Natalie's face change immediately. She's like, goes from like, You see she gets super uncomfortable. You know, she like, Scotty's like, so yeah, you included me and my dog in the rant, and I just want to know why. And Natalie's like, because it's true. Straight up. So it's like straight up. So I think what they're talking about right here is Natalie Nunn said on her rant, it's not funny, I don't know why I'm laughing. She said on her rant that basically Lemmy abuses Capri. That's what she said. And she said that Mariah Lynn had video proof of it. So that's why Mariah Lynn was brought up. However, Mariah did come later, I remember, and she was like, that is not true. I never said I have video proof of anything. I never saw him do anything to Capri, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, like it basically just looked like Natalie was lying. So Scotty's whole thing is like, yeah, that's between Mariah Lynn and Lemmy, so you should have just stuck to those people. Why are you bringing me up? And Natalie's like, because that's your man, and because it had to do with that. Natalie's trying to tell Scotty, like, Mariah Lynn and Lemmy, they had a situation, and so that's why I brought it up. Scotty's like, no, they never had a relationship. Stop that. Scotty has her foot down. She's pretty much telling Natalie, like, whenever you go around about somebody else, you always bring me up. You always want to bring me and Capri up, and that's weird. Like, stop doing that. And she asked J-Lo, so were you on the flights? You need to be honest with me right now. And J-Lo's like, I wasn't on the flight. But I remember, because Lemmy, he was filming, they were on like a first class airlines when they went to Italy. I remember that because he was filming, and it was just Scotty and Lemmy. I do not remember J-Lo being on that first class flight. Pretty sure she wasn't. So Natalie gets triggered. She's literally like, I don't want to be fake anymore. If we want to be fake, then I'll just leave. And they're trying to have a conversation. Like, they're trying to talk to her to get her to explain herself. But at the same time, they're also like cutting her off whenever she talks. So I'm like, shut up and let her talk. Like, I want to hear what she has to say. I want to hear if it actually makes sense or not. Scotty just keeps interrupting Natalie. Natalie's like, are you going to let me finish, or are you just going to be mad because you're mad? Like, you're just mad because your relationship is not how you painted it out to be. Here she goes. She started hitting below the belt right now. Scotty was like, is the person that you were talking about, and somehow it trickled over. And as soon as Scotty said that, Natalie gets up and she's like, okay, good night, I'm out of here. That triggered Natalie. She was out of there. Yeah, so Natalie just gets up. She's like, you're just pregnant. You're just miserable right now. Like, girl, Anna and Mariah had something to do with your man. Goodbye. Walks off. It was like, okay, I heard Anna. I did not hear about Mariah, though. I didn't hear that as a rumor. I didn't hear that at all. Yeah, as Natalie's walking away, she's talking to her, and she's like, and Jayla, I'm disappointed in you. You were definitely on that flight. I'm like, What? Why does it matter? Natalie, it makes it look like you're jealous. Who cares if she was on the flight or not? What does that have to do with anything? This is Natalie's problem right here. Is like she starts something, but she never finishes it. She doesn't explain why she's mad. She ends up just raging and walking off. And I'm most confused. Like, I don't get it. So like, if I don't get it, how am I going to be on your side? You know what I mean? And then Scotty turns and tries to check Janelle real quick. She's like, and I'm not going to hear you say because this was between me and Natalie. So whatever you have to say right now, like, no. I was like, oh, Scotty is feeling spicy. Like, you know, she's pregnant now, so she knows nobody can really do anything to her. But yeah, she's like being a little bit spicy right now. Oh my gosh. So Janelle still tries to talk to Scotty. She's like, you know, you and her have been friends for a long time. And Scotty straight up said, didn't I just tell you that I don't want to talk about Natalie with you? Like, this is between me and Natalie, and I don't want to talk to Janelle about this. Woo-wee, the way that you're talking right now, this is not how Scotty normally is. She definitely feeling safe with that baby. Janelle's like straight up like, you know, I've been here for a long time. Like, I've been through a lot of the situation. Don't act like I just came out of nowhere and I don't know anything. She's like, matter of fact, I knew you before all this. Apparently she knew Scotty before the show. It's funny because Scotty says in this scene too that her tears for Natalie are gone. Because I literally said at the beginning of this, I was like, you always end up crying, girl. But she proved me wrong. She ain't crying no more. And then Scotty says, if I didn't have a baby inside of me, we could have took it there. I'm like, no. Just no. It has to be the hormones. This is not how Scotty speaks normally. So they pretty much end it and they leave. And I'm like, hopefully they just did this because I'm so tired of this Natalie versus Scotty storyline. It is long and drawn out. If y'all don't want to be friends and y'all aren't cool, just leave it at that. Like, that's it. What's the point of conversating? It's just now you guys are just business associates. So leave it at that. But yeah, the scene cuts and now we have Rolly talking to Big Lex. So Rolly asked Scotty, like, what was really going on with Dolly? Because whenever I ask her, she's just like, whatever, I don't care. And Big Lex pretty much like, I never even expected her and Summer to fight. Like, I never expected them to go at it like that. It's very sensitive for me because I thought that we were actually real friends, you know. And Rolly says what I said earlier. She was like, I feel like it was because of the whole Tasiki fights. That's the whole reason why Summer she won't speak to them or she won't say anything because she knows she's gonna look like a hypocrite because she literally kept saying, no, I don't want Dolly and Lex to fight for me. But really that's why she's upset. So Big Lex clarifies, she's like, I've always had her back. She's like, I never said that I was gonna do something in the whole Tasiki situation and I didn't do it. And really, I feel like she did enough in that whole situation. Like, she had her arms around Summer, protecting her like this at one point from Tasiki. So we don't need to rehash that. So then Big Lex clarifies that, like, I didn't do no eating. That was only Summer. And Rolly's like, what the why is y'all doing that? Y'all supposed to be sisters. Y'all not supposed to be Who cares if they did it or not? She's like, how dare you guys do that? We're a sisterhood. And Lex is in the confessionals literally like, you guys heard Dolly. I am a pillow princess. I don't do that. It gets done to me, period. And I believe her. So then Rolly starts to bring up what Dolly said about Cloaculous kiss. And she's like, you know, that was like really, really bad. And Big Lex is like, I know, I tried to stop her. And then Rolly was like, you can do this alone, Big Lex. Like, don't let them burn you, pretty much. Like, let Summer crash out, let Dolly crash out. Don't stand next to them. I heard you're better than that and you can do this on your own. But yeah, Big Lex is pretty much like, after that, what happened in Detroit when Summer tried to get her family to jump Big Lex, that's it. Like, she said that's it. They are done and Summer's gonna have to see her. Okay, so the scene cuts and we see all the girls on the tour bus and they are on their way to their house in Atlanta. Apparently Dolly's MIA, Lex is MIA, Summer's MIA. The big three MIA. So Biggie, who was MIA and Taco Tuesday, trying to figure out like who won between Summer and Dolly. And nobody on the bus kept it a buck. I'm like, y'all are all fake. Literally, Teddy Baby said, honestly, I feel like it was a tie. Like, they was both, Summer was keeping up. I'm like, girl, shut up. Where is Cold Killer? Cold Killer usually tells the truth. Dolly won. Stop it. Oh my gosh. So once again, they bring up this whole eating situation. Oh my gosh. Like, they're talking about this about 20 times. Tinka is like, I'm gonna just call Summer on the phone. So Tinka calls Summer and she pretty much asks her, is that true or not? And Summer is all, Bitch, I ain't saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing. You hear somebody in the background like, stop lying, Summer. You did say something. But yet, once again, nobody confronts Summer. Like, they just keep saying, stop lying. They're not like, Summer, yes, you did. You said that you ate Big Lex and Big Lex ate you. Like, I don't know why they're not doing that. So Biggie grabs the phone. She's like, Summer, were y'all effing? And Summer goes, was we or was we not? Like, she's just a troll. She's just a troll at this point. You know, just that's it. That's end the call. You're not gonna get a clear answer. Oh shit. Okay, so like you see the ATL house and they're all excited. Yeah, we finally made it to the ATL house. But then boom, the scene cuts. All of a sudden you see Big Lex just going off. You bringing outsiders. Now you about to get it. You want to bring outsiders? And then we have text on the screen. Usually text on the screen is not good. It says, as the Baddies bus pulls up to the ATL house, the ladies quickly realize that tensions are already heightened between Big Lex, Tommy Lee, and associates of Tommy Lee. Oh gosh, I guess this is the whole situation where allegedly Big Lex hit Tommy Lee's daughter. Big Lex said she felt threatened because it was Tommy's people and she didn't know who they were. She was literally like, who are you? You're not supposed to be here. Like, get the on. Like, Tommy Lee already brought people the first time to jump, so she wasn't sure. Like, what are they here for? And then yesterday, Summer did it with her people. I said, I get it. Like, you can't bring outsiders. It doesn't ever go well. Big Lex turned into the basketball player. She's standing. She spits. Watch out. Watch out. She's telling the security guards, you here? You backside? You courtside over there. Literally, she's assigning the security guard positions around her. And then she turns and she does her, you come here. And who is she talking to? Summer. And then Summer, stop. Here goes Summer. Come on, muncher. Shut up. Oh my gosh. She does not learn. They literally like square up and they just immediately boom, 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 boom. Like Big Lex's first few hits, I could hear it through the screen. I could hear it. It was like, ah, like it was so loud. She beat Summer's ass. Summer was swinging, but she was swimming. Big Lex tore Summer. So they break up the fight. They pull Big Lex away. You hear Tommy Lee yelling off to the side. Tommy Lee is close to Big Lex, so she takes the glass in her hand and she, boom, that's crazy. Tommy Lee got her with the glass. Damn. Makes sense that Tommy Lee would hit her with a glass because like, she hit my daughter? You know, I get that. Big Lex immediately, she starts swinging at Tommy Lee, but security is right in the middle and they do not let Big Lex get Tommy Lee. Damn, you see Big Lex kind of like go like this. That glass actually shattered and got on Big Lex's face, which is up. She got a cut right here. She got a cut right here. She got a few cuts on her face. Summer is antagonizing the situation still. She's yelling from the side of the line like, and when me and my people knocked you and Dolly, what you do? What you do? Like, she kind of doesn't even halfway make sense, you know? But Big Lex hears her. She's like, back up, watch out. She gets to Summer. She slams her to the ground and she just pounding her into the ground. Biggie's literally yelling from the sideline, you're weak, Summer, you're effed up. Like, Summer all of a sudden switches her energy and she's like, I had love for you once upon a time. I had love for me and you switched up. I think she was talking about the Tasiki situation there. But yeah, this is really sad to watch, guys, because like Big Lex's face is all cut up and bleeding. Summer's face is cut up and bleeding. These guys used to be friends. They literally just the night before said they both don't want to fight each other. It's crazy. She's like, you played me like I'm a sucker. Big Lex is like, played you how? How did I play you? She's walking up to her. How did I play you? Boom! She just starts swinging on her again. She knocks Summer to the ground once again. She's pounding on her. Security comes, breaks it up. Lex is spiraling right now. I'm not gonna lie. Like, she is going crazy. This reminds me of the scene in Baddies Africa where Big Lex went crazy, like literally crashed out on Tavy Baby when Tavy Baby started saying that about Big Lex when she was like, yeah, you like me, Big Lex. You said something about my feet, my nail polish. Remember that? See, Big Lex don't like when you try to talk sexual about her. She went crazy on Tavy Baby. She crashed the out. She's doing that right now to Summer, literally. Now we see Biggie. Biggie's like talking shit to Tommy. She's like, you always starting shit. It's always you know, because really this whole thing did kind of pop off with Tommy and her people, which I think was her daughter that Big Lex swung on. Yeah, Big Lex literally like, if you want to be on Baddie's premises, you can be treated like a baddie. Period. Let them know, Big Lex. Big Lex is like, and Tommy B, you're next. And then all of a sudden you see this random guy speak up and he's like, you do just about anything and everything. And everybody's like, who the is that? What is he? Why is he speaking? Who are you? You know? And Big Lex is like, shut up. She takes her water bottle. She's like, shut up. She sprays it and it hits him. And he takes his water bottle and he starts throwing it back, and then chaos breaks loose. Literally, Big Lex opens the door of the fucking Sprinter and she gets in there trying to get to the dude. And look, of all people who ran up to help, Tavy Baby. Tavy Baby's right behind her. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of proud in this moment. I was like, well, look at that. They go stick together even though they don't really F with each other. That was a cute little moment. You just see Summer and Summer's like, you just want to fight me for no reason. That triggers Big Lex. Like every time Summer talks, it triggers her. Literally, this is reminding me of the Tasiki fight. Like, just close your mouth, Summer. Every time Summer opened her mouth, Tasiki says smack. Like, literally. So Big Lex comes running towards her once again. This is the 4th time they're fighting. My gosh. She comes towards her, she takes her, she body slams her immediately, and she just boom, 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 drilling her head into the ground. It's a little bit hard to watch. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little hard to watch, and I do feel like at this point, like, it's too much. You beat her already 3 times. This was very unnecessary. All she said was, you don't want to fight me for no reason. Like, that's not another reason to beat her ass. Come on now. And now, this is the time when Summer is leaking. Literally, her face is Niagara Falls right now. Just red all over. And it's crazy because Summer is like still smiling through all that blood. I'm like, girl, stop trying to be a G. Like, I think that's Summer's problem. She has too much pride herself. But yeah, this is not funny to me. It's not funny and it's sad. It's sad and it's hard to watch. And yeah, like Summer is talking about in her confessionals, like, that's how I knew you were never my friend. You fighting with all that fucking aggression towards me. I'm like, it could go both ways, Summer. She could say the same thing to you. That's how she knew you weren't her friend. Because why did you get your family to try to jump her in Detroit? None of this would have happened if Summer didn't do that. Remember that. Oh my god, it's not over. It's not over as they're literally cleaning the blood off of Summer's face. Big Lex once again gets to her and knocks her to the floor. And then boom, the scene cuts and we get the previews to the next episode. I'm just like, geez Louise, somebody, why are y'all not holding Big Lex? Like, come on, after the 3rd time, somebody should have had Big Lex. Like, after Summer's bleeding like that, why is nobody holding Big Lex? Oh my gosh. Crazy, insane episode. The big 3 has officially fallen out. I mean, Dolly and Lex are still cool for now. Hopefully they stay cool. But yeah, it went way too far. Like, you can come back from many things, maybe even a slight kick to the head, you know, once or twice, but all this, it's too much. I don't see how they can come back from this.